Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. Sorry for the slight live stream delay. Wanted to go live in 15 minutes ago. Just ended up in a couple of discussions. Sorry, man. That also prevented me from getting my tea in the morning, which kind of sucks. But anyway, already live, so staying with it. No news today. Gave Leah want to take the weekend off, and Jimmy is running his seminar. I'm sure Jimmy could have been free today. His seminar was last couple of days in Tampa. Shout out to Tampa. He had lots of good things to say. So I didn't get to do this last night. It was Friday night. I wanted to go out, even though I'm up early. So obviously it wasn't that much of a night out. And here early in the morning on a Saturday, I can tell by the live viewers, people are sleeping. And that's fine. It's good for a Saturday. And all right, let's jump into the market. I don't really have any news today other than there's two class action lawsuits filed against Coinbase 1 day apart. I thought it was on the same day, but they were 1 day apart. So on March 1st, a class action lawsuit was filed accusing Coinbase employees of profiting from the Bcash scam, which is going to be interesting. There's a single plaintiff there, and I don't really know how class action lawsuits work. I'm already talking to some lawyers in order to bring lawyers on the record so we can talk about this, right? And it's going to be interesting. I don't know if this is normal, like a jury trial's demanded. I would love to be on this jury. I'd be hilarious. I'd be so disqualified immediately, but it'd be awesome to sneak onto this jury. Yeah, so there was a lawsuit against Coinbase related to Bcash. Looks like Brian Armstrong is named personally. I didn't actually read this one over. This one came across my radar like an hour ago. And the one that came across my radar yesterday was, in a slightly more detail, was the class action lawsuit against Coinbase filed by Restus Law, and I tweeted this out. I read over every sentence of this. I haven't read over the other one yet. And it's basically accusing Coinbase of breaking California laws, the unclaimed property law. Basically, if you send your Bitcoin to a friend through email and your friend never claimed the Bitcoin, after 2 years, that unclaimed property is supposed to go to the state, where you can then reclaim that property from the state. And you have a couple of plaintiffs here saying that never happened. So I will bring on lawyers to talk about this. So this is just something to keep in mind. I threw the lawsuit filings in the video description. We'll talk about them on Monday or sometime this weekend if I get a lawyer on to discuss one or both of these cases. So let's see where that goes. All right. I guess I'm on my seminar section. So all of these seminars you can sign up for now. People are texting me, hey, when can I sign up for Toronto? Well, you could. I need to update mine. I think I have at least one person has already signed up for all of them. So I can start guessing what my max capacity is going to be and adjust accordingly as to how many people I have left. I would love to sell them all out. I mean, 20 is my sellout idea. I think 20 is a perfect amount of people in a learning education seminar. And more to come, guys. More to come. I'm working on my schedule. Might get to London earlier than planned. Oh, no. Wait, I updated London. London potentially in June. Potentially. And lots of people are inquiring about Australia. More news is to come on that. I'm also working on a website where you can just register, right? So you don't have to email me or telegram me. All right. Trading. Learn trading, guys. I'm gonna keep saying it only because of the parody video. That was great. We'll have to repost that every now and then. Sections 1 to 5 are traditional. Section 6 is more advanced. If you ever felt like asking the question, what the hell are those numbers above and below your candles? That's explained in section 6. That's all right here. Okay, so check that out. And of course, check out the consulting section if everything I do for free is not enough for you. I should probably update this. I don't remember the last time I even read it. All right, let's get right into the markets. Lots of good stuff is happening right now. So we are on a Saturday. So we only have about, what do we got here? About 36 hours left before our weekly candle closes, which is a good thing because like I want this candle to close near the top of its candle. I don't really want this candle to run away to the upside. Like I want a good, clean weekly entry, okay? And that clean weekly entry would come with next week, with next week's candle trading above this week's high and preferably above the 12,100 Fibonacci, or whatever that number is, 12,200 Fibonacci, okay? That is the ideal. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna add something here. So, let me think here. I'm trying to think back to 20 years ago when I studied Fibonacci's. Maybe not 20. Let me not overage myself here. So I still think those Fibonacci's are important, but I also don't want to clutter my chart. Because here's the thing, right? And I probably should have drawn this earlier. If I am 100% convinced that we have bottomed on a weekly level, I really need to add another set of Fibonacci's here. I really, really do. And it starts to clutter my chart a little bit. And I can't make these blue. I need to pick another color. I can maybe go with purple. No, actually, I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to make these dark purple and the 50 light purple. I don't consider the 50 to be the most, like critical Fibonacci line, right? So this way the purple kind of stands out. Something's missing. What's missing? Oh, that's what's missing. This needs to be dark purple. This needs to be dark purple. And this needs to be light purple. Okay. So this is what I should be looking at when it comes to, and the chart starts to get cluttered, which is a problem. But since we are assuming that is the high and that is the low, the Fibonacci line on the way up is already broken at 11,200 or so, right? And that's good because that's like another level of resistance at 11,200 now using a weekly scale that we are now breaking. And the 50 is coming up. I don't think it's going to be all that important, but I will keep an eye on this next purple line, which is at 14,435 based on weekly Fibonacci's, okay? So let's see if we can close above the 38% Fibonacci, which is good, but we should, because that's where the daily cluster of resistance is as well, okay? So I'll leave that on there at a risk of making this an unreadable chart, but I think it's okay. I don't think I'm over analyzing something. The daily chart is where all the action is, all the action, okay? This is the important one. So the most important thing in all of Bitcoin right now, and every trader is watching this, I can guarantee you. Can we close at a new swing high on a daily basis? Can we close above, what is this candle? 11,211. So let's say 11,250 to kind of cover all the ducks on all the exchanges. If we can close daily at midnight UTC time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time, where I am, if we can close daily above 11,250, the cup and handle is complete, and the target becomes The target becomes a $5,000 rise, taking us to 16,000 or so. Now, there is some resistance along the way. Nothing is absolutely perfect. I should probably move this to here, make it line up. There's still resistance along the way. You're still going to be dealing with the $13,000 area. You're still going to be dealing with the $14,000 area. And the $14,000 area is now daily and weekly. You have a daily Fibonacci and a weekly Fibonacci. Actually, it's the same Fibonacci. I have this Fibonacci on the daily. You know what? I don't need it on the weekly. I really don't, because I have it on the daily. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that. It's not necessary, because that weekly Fibonacci, it's actually, I have it on the daily. So it's the same line. So these lines were the purple lines I drew on the weekly. So it's totally unnecessary, because I'm already watching those lines based on daily charts. Okay. So, you traders, keep in mind. And the only other thing that will pause me in this rise to the next, I mean, there's absolutely no resistance between current level and where's the next Fibonacci line? 13,000, just under 13,000. Okay. The only thing that would slow me down in a move up to 13,000 is the fact that we are on a 6 of 9. So in 3 days, there could be a 1 to 4 day correction back to the breakout level of 11,250. So keep that in mind. We have 3 days to eye that. So Monday or Tuesday, I would be, if we continue to go up into, let's say, 12,500, I would be looking for a correction from that area down back to the the breakout level. I got a couple of people that I trust in doing questions. Let me know by Telegram, and you know who you guys are, because you both just texted me in the last 5 minutes. Let me know if you want to do QA for me. Let me know if you want to compile some good questions. Someone's already asked me to take a look at Monero. I'll think about it. I do only have 30 more minutes, and then I have to go to the farmer's market because it's only open on Saturdays, and I need clean food in my apartment because now I'm in New York. That's the only place I actually get to buy my meat and stuff and eggs. All right. So we need to close at a new high. And as of today, like yesterday, we at yesterday's close daily, we were still below 3 levels of resistance. And somebody asked, why am I using the 128-day moving average? It means you're a little new to my channel. I have updated my 200-day moving average to the 128 because it seems to have supported the price better in the last few years than the 200-day has. So I've switched to the 128-day moving average because it seems to be more useful. It also means it has a potential to not be useful anymore. But that's, again, this could be its own video. So we just need to close above the next 3 levels of resistance, right? So we had 5 levels of resistance. The 50-day, the downward trend line, the 128-day, the Fibonacci, and the setup trend line. And we cleared all of them. We have cleared all of them. Your bullish trade would have taken place. You can add to your bullish trade with every level, starting with a green 2 trading above a green 1, which took place below all 5 resistance levels. So you would have to make this trade very small. If you enter this trade and you're adding to this trade along the way, at this point, I would set my stop loss below yesterday's low. So if you are in this bullish trade, I would set the stop loss below yesterday's low. And then if this is something referred to as an expanded range candle, basically a candle the size of the candle on February 26th. So let's just say if we close today above 12,000, I would raise my stop loss all the way to around 11,100 or 11,150 area. I would actually raise it into the current candle. And if it's an expanded range candle. If it's not, then I usually raise my stop losses to below the prior day's low. Okay. All right. Next. The 4 hour. The 4 hour, even though the 12 hour has been looking really good, let's go to the 4 hour. I've been already talking about the 4 hour a lot. So you can see how yesterday we were trending down. And I said, hey, according to the time indicator, there was a short trade on the table. But look where I immediately put my stop loss. I said, this better be the quickest short trade you will ever make. The downside was insanely limited. It was only going to go down to potentially this Fibonacci line and to potentially the rising 50-period moving average. If you did short on this pullback, that needed to be extremely quick trade, extremely, because you were reversing to the upside quickly. Now, the time indicator did not give you a clean entry back up here. Based on a 4-hour chart, because the one candle didn't close till all the way at new highs, but the two candle did trade above it. So while it's not the most optimal trade, according to the rules of the trade, hey, you are above the risk line. That's the risk line automatically gets drawn. Okay, go to my website if you want to understand these definitions, right? So the bullish trade could have taken place with a 2 trading above the 1. I would have been a little bit careful because of these red arrows on the aggressive 13. Still working on the code, guys. Try to release it as soon as possible to clients. But I would have been a little bit cautious here. But hey, now we're doing really well. And the 4-hour chart is on a 4 of 9. Everything is bullish. Now the 4-hour chart still needs to close at a new high. So the daily is actually more bullish than the 4-hour right now, because the 4-hour has not given us a new in candle close high. The daily could if we close here, but not the 4-hour. Again, you want as many ducks to line up in a row for your bullish trade. The moment we can close above the prior candle close and the prior candle high, the more bullish you are. Now, I saw an interesting comment about volume, and this is great. And this is why I continue to say that volume is an absolute, is usually a terrible metric to judge your trades. I did a whole, rant on volume in my last video. I believe it was 2 nights ago, and it came through my Twitter feed. Let me go to my mentions. And it's funny because I addressed it in last night's video. And people are still commenting because they have absolutely no clue how to use volume. And they're only using volume because someone told them that volume was important. And they think they understand volume when in reality, they have absolutely no clue. I just want to scroll down enough and then do a Control F on volume. Okay. And not scroll down enough. That kind of sucks. But I saw it this morning. Unless that person deleted the tweet. Guys, if you delete tweets, don't ever be on Twitter. If you delete your tweets, unless it's like an error, right? Like if you wrote something in error, then sure, delete it. But if you wrote something that you meant to write and then you delete it because you don't like it, get off Twitter. Like, you don't belong on Twitter. Everyone should block you. No one should ever read your messages. Let me see here. I get too many messages. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I wanted to, embarrass the person, but maybe I shouldn't. All right, let's get off Twitter. So basically, someone said the volume is not supporting the cup and handle because apparently someone told this person that the cup needs to have more volume than the handle. And that is totally ridiculous, okay? The fact that Bitcoin is rising on low volume tells me that there is a bunch of people like myself that are waiting to see confirmation of a close above all of these resistance lines. And there is a high probability that there is a lot of buyers waiting to buy when they are absolutely sure that the breakout is happening. So you cannot assume that this low volume is a bad thing, because this low volume could easily mean there's so many bull people waiting on the sidelines, plus God knows how many people are still short, and those short squeeze is going to come, creating a giant volume spike. So like most people just don't understand volume, okay? Most people just don't understand volume. Okay, so I have zero problem with this breakout happening on low volume. Okay, in fact, I'm encouraged by it. I'm encouraged that the breakout is happening on low volume, because it's not really a breakout yet. We need a close. Next candle, we'll see. Of course, it can go down, but this does not mean that you should be eyeing short trades here. The price is king. The price is absolute king. Volume is very misleading. Very misleading. Please do maximum amount of research on volume before you consider it in your trading. It's very misleading. All right, let's move on. Hourly chart. Hourly chart looks good, right? We had a 9. We had a 9.13. We stagnated all night from from 8 p.m. Into the morning. We broke out, made a new closing hourly high, swing high. We had higher ones, a month ago. A new swing close high, a new swing intra-candle high, and we've traded above those metrics the following hour. So last hour, so about an hour and 10 minutes ago, we started trading above that. So you have a bullish trade on the table based on hourly charts. Where do you set your stop loss? Well, this one is going to be a little tight, but below the swing low. That's where you have to set your stop loss. You set your stop loss below swing low. Now, if the 50-hour moving average goes above it, you can then set your stop loss right below the 50-day moving average. If we get a big jump to, let's say, 11,600, I would raise that stop loss to just above break even. Okay? But I would let this trade run a little bit by setting my stop loss below the swing low. Okay? What is this? Oh, that's the Cardano that I pulled up from before. Nothing changed. It's still going to 0. Next. Let me close that. What is this? The yield. The yield. Oh, today's Saturday. I'm not ready to do traditional markets. I'm just going to glance at them for my own use case. Yeah, a little bearish. We moved up a little bit. This would be a beautiful secondary high. Beautiful secondary high. If we can get back to the upside here, we'll be set for new all-time highs. What is this? Gold? Nothing's going on. Ethereum. Oh, God, this is ugly. Oh, this is absolutely terrible. I love it. I love it. I hate Ethereum so much that any misery that comes to Ethereum just makes me even more happy than misery coming to Coinbase. Yeah, you're on a 5 of 9. You're below prior low. You're below the swing low. You're below the closing low, and down we go. Bye-bye Ethereum. This is weekly Ethereum, which unfortunately may come into support. You have the 50-week moving average and a Fibonacci line. So it's possible that Ethereum could come into support. The week is about to end. Even it's bearish. It's on a bearish trade weekly. It's happening on low volume. So again, what does that mean? What does it mean that it's happening on low volume? Look how low the volume is in Ethereum. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. You can start guessing what it means. It could also mean that Poloniex is done and no one is trading on Poloniex, right? Guys, be very careful with volume, okay? Be very careful. I should probably switch. Poloniex is probably done now that they've been bought by Circle, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. What is this? I don't want to go too far. Oh, this is Amazon. Amazon. All right. Well, we talked about Amazon last time. All right, I'm done. I have a few minutes. Let's go to your questions. Before I go to your questions, if you like my work and you want to support my work, please check out the affiliates and referral section of my website. Most of these links give you discounts, but they certainly will not cost you more money to use them. So please, if you like my work and want to support, sign up for these lovely products in the videos or shows. I still don't know why my pictures don't show up. They show up on your end. I gotta maybe buy a new computer again. But yeah, TradingView and TorGuard, for some reason the pictures don't show up. They show up in the incognito window when I do it. All right, that's enough. That's enough shilling. Let's drop screen share and see what we got. Are you considering doing part 2 with Richard? I don't know. The answer is maybe. Not anytime soon. I would only consider doing a part 2 with Richard when the details of his fluid dynamics token comes out or on the verge of it launching. But I also don't want to promote his token because I think it's totally useless and borderline scammy. We can discuss that part with Richard later on. But the answer is I don't know. When is the Cliff High interview? Soon. I am in contact with Cliff High, and we are going to do a podcast working out the details as to when, but before I set off on my next road trip. So please keep an eye out for that. Tone, Beatles or Rolling Stones? The answer is neither. I will barely be able to recognize a song by the Beatles or a song by the Rolling Stones, nor would I barely be able to tell them apart from each other. I think I just lost 20% of my subscribers by saying that, but hey, you come to my channel for the truth, and the truth is both of those are slightly before my time. So there. Not my music. Sorry, guys. Next. At this point in Bitcoin's life, is an empty mempool more of a bad or a good thing? It depends. I'm not happy about an empty mempool. If Lightning was, fully implemented, then sure, I wouldn't really know how to judge the empty mempool, but I know the transactions haven't moved to Lightning, and therefore, oh yeah, thanks, Mike, for the questions. The transactions have not migrated to Lightning, so low transactions on the mempool means not a lot of people are using Bitcoin, and that could be seen by some, including myself, that Bitcoin is perhaps a little bit overvalued because there isn't that much use of Bitcoin, right? It's a chicken and egg thing, right? More people need to have Bitcoin for more people to use Bitcoin, and the more people use Bitcoin, the more people want to have Bitcoin. Once that cycle mentally starts to go in reverse, well, if no one is really using Bitcoin, then why am I holding Bitcoin? And if less people are holding Bitcoin, then less people are using Bitcoin. So this is how the boom and bust cycles happen, right? This is why, eventually the Fed gets created to prevent the boom and bust cycles, which delays it, and then it creates a bigger boom and bust cycle, All right. Let's see here. I see a tip asking me for a Monero chart. So the bad virus, you've been a loyal follower of my work, and I will accommodate and pull up a chart of Monero. Wait, did you ask for Monero or Ripple? XMR, Monero. Anytime I see an X in the front, I'm like, oh God, Ripple. All right, Monero. Let's look at Monero. I got to do screen share though. Let me not forget this time. There you go. XMR. All right, what do we got? See, I'm still using Poloniex. Maybe I shouldn't use Poloniex anymore. All right, we got Monero daily against the dollar. We got Monero daily against Bitcoin, and we got Monero weekly against Bitcoin. So I'm going to look at the weekly one first. You want to kind of look at your higher levels first, and then go down into lower levels. You got a bullish trade. Monero looks good. See, it's a bit tricky right now. I do have a red 13 here, but I know that 13s, countdown 13s, haven't really been all that useful on Bitcoin. Like, this is a weird one, right? Like, it's useful at the top of the week, but not at the bottom of the week, because that's a giant, like, monster move to the upside. The aggressive 13s have been significantly better. So if this was an aggressive 13, I would take it a lot more seriously, but it's not. It's a regular 13. So it's a little bit of a conflict here on the weekly chart, because your setup is telling you that you have a bullish trade on the table. Now, I would be a little cautious in this bullish trade, and I would wait for a brand new all-time weekly close. Okay, so Monero closed on. Oh wait, I don't have my. Hold on a second. Background OHLC. So Monero closed the week of August 21st at 0.03 and little change. Monero closed the week of January 15th, 0.03 and slightly bigger change. And right now, Monero is 0.03 and slightly bigger change still. So if we close tomorrow night on Monero at a brand new weekly close, like the current price of Monero versus Bitcoin, that is a very bullish sign. The only thing that is still missing is a new swing high, and we're still a little bit short. But you can see that this is like a cup and handle, like the Bitcoin's cup and handle. Not as clear. Would have been nicer to go back to the 50, but hey, this is a weekly cup and handle, and Monero looks pretty damn bullish to me right now. If we can close in the vicinity of 0.032, I can certainly see a giant pop in Monero. I think when we were reaching the end of this triangle, I was contemplating whether to add Monero donation QR, because I was expecting a giant pop in Monero, and I never really got around to it. I probably still won't add a Monero donation QR until there's a convenient like phone wallet or something, unless it's easy for me. But I don't really have a problem with Monero. I still think it's a terrible long-term investment, but as a short-term, it's probably the second best crypto out there, even though it's a distant second to Bitcoin. But looks good. Monero looks good. All right. Here's the daily chart, and the daily chart completely supports the weekly chart, right? So let me look at the numbers here. So the daily chart is looking great. As of right now, the daily chart is pretty much in line with the weekly chart, in that you just had a 2 trade above the 1. Now, it's unfortunate that the 1 candle was so big, and again, this could have been on other exchanges. I like the volume. I like the breakout volume there, but I need another big volume spike, because, hey, you're at resistance now, right? This should be like, maybe it shouldn't be like a thin line, right? Like, this should be, this should be a fairly thick line here, right? You're stuck at resistance. You got this cup and handle, and the target is huge. The target is really, really big. I mean, we're talking from 0.03 all the way down to 0.015. So we're literally talking like a 50% rise in Monero. And the only reason I'm going to look at the dollar chart, and this is the dollar weekly, I guess, I drew this box. I must have drawn this box long ago, and we're kind of fell out of the box, but now we're back in the box. We got to get out of this box, okay? Got to get out of this box. So, Monero has a good history of breaking out based on dollar terms. Look how it's staying above its 50-day moving average, 50-week moving average. Sorry, I can go to the daily, and there's the box. It looks good. I mean, I don't know what to say other than Monero looks good. again, it's not going to give you the kind of returns some scammy ICO will if you time it right. But oh, hold on a second. Let me send a quick message. All right. I'm still with you guys, so I gotta postpone my meeting at the farmers market by a few minutes. All right, done. So Monero looks good. I mean, I don't know what else you guys want me to say. It looks good. It looks like look. If you're gonna play around with altcoins, at least play around with altcoins that have a low probability of going to zero, and have a low probability of 12-year-olds pumping them in chat groups. And Monero has a big enough market cap that it's more difficult. Okay, Monero is trending in the opposite direction of Ethereum. Let's just put it that way from a TA perspective. All right, let's get back to the questions. Tone, what are you planning on buying from the farmers market? I like to cook. I haven't had much time to cook. I go to the farmers market to buy all my vegetables, eggs, all my meat. I'm a big fan of lamb. I'm a big fan of goat. I'm a big fan of all weird meat, because the weirder the meat, the more organic that meat is going to be. There isn't really a giant what do you call it? No, unclean market for, let's say, lamb liver, right, or something else, right? So I'm a big fan of like strange meats, right? So when I go to some weird country and they're like, alligator meat, beautiful, ostrich meat, excellent, things like that. So I eat meat with every meal. I'm like vegetarian. I like vegans don't like me very much. I eat eggs every morning. I eat about 3 to 4 eggs a day. Eat bacon almost every morning. Yeah. So look up paleo diet. That's kind of what I attempt to follow. But yeah, I just go there for veggies, fruits, meat, eggs, apple cider, things like that. All right. If you could live anywhere besides New York, where would it be? I really like Thailand, guys. I really like Thailand. I've been to Thailand a few times. Really, really like it. Like the food, like the people. It's great. I also would. I would name Spanish countries, but I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. But Southeast Asia, I really, really enjoy. Next. Do you think Satoshi's actual identity will ever be found out? I hope not, and I think not. That's the answer. Is the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining a non-issue? It's a non-issue to me, but clearly a lot of people have an issue with it. Maybe I'll elaborate on future podcasts. Let me see here. Are you still mining with Slush, and have you been profitable with your miner investment? Well, I'm still mining with Slush, but my miner is like a few hours away from where I'm sitting. Speaking of which, you guys don't see me sitting. So my miner is a few hours away, and for some reason, like about a month ago, my miner has been running at 3 terahash instead of 7 terahash. So I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why my miner's productivity has been cut in half. I'm not going to jump into my car and like drive up to my cabin right now because I'm busy, and it's unfortunate. My miner was doing very well, but now that it's half as effective, it's making me half the money. My miner has pretty much, my miner has more than paid for itself. However, I am mining with free electricity, right? So had I been paying the electricity bill on my one miner, I don't know if it would have paid for itself. It would have been a break even, but that's also because there was a minor shipping delay on my end because of weird circumstance, and also because it took me a month to figure out how to set the damn thing up. Now, had I got that miner when I was immediately without it getting stuck in customs, and had I immediately knew how to connect it, it would have been more than profitable. But losing a month and a half of its first month and a half, like basically kills half the value that that miner would have brought in. Now, my advantage is still free electricity where I'm running it. Now, I can't run, like a mining farm there, but I can sneak one miner in to where I'm doing it, and it's not a big deal. So it has been profitable because of that. But yes, mining should be more of a hobby, guys. Leave it to the experts to do it for profit. Am I left-handed? Wow, you guys are getting way too much information. I'm actually right-handed, though I will say some of the smartest people I've met when I worked on Wall Street were actually left-handed. Am I exercising daily? Oh, God, no. I want to, but it doesn't happen. I do exercise a little. I need to exercise daily again. I used to, oh man, I used to do CrossFit, guys. I looked very different. Do you take nootropics? I don't know what nootropics is, so the answer is going to be no. Or anything to enhance cognitive function? No. The best cognitive function I've had was when I was 100% paleo and like eating coconut oil out of the jar. That's when I was most focused and had the best cognitive function. All right, let's see what else. Any other questions? What do we got? Last one. Anything about the upcoming seminars? All right. Well, if you can help with the venue, right? So I still have like 1,300 people. So I have not yet. I think I'm talking to a few people about. Like, I don't have venues for any of these events yet, right? So, so here are the events. So I haven't. I mean, I'm in contact with like looking around, like co-working spaces, hotel conference rooms. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna break 20 people in any of them. Maybe San Francisco will break 20 people. I don't really expect to break 20. So I really need a conference room for like 25 people. Like if you and this is always on a Saturday, right? So if you're working at like a law office and you have a conference room, I'll pay for it if if the price is reasonable. I mean, it would be great if somebody wants to sponsor with a venue. But yeah, if you have a venue that I can use for about 25 people, at least half of them with desk space, so people can bring their laptops if they want. Laptop is not necessary for this. But yeah, if you have connections to a venue, please reach out. You can. My contact information is below. Please shoot me an email or hit me up on Telegram, and I'll connect you with my event coordinator, and we can work it out. All right, guys. One more shilling of the affiliate codes. If you like my work and you want to support my work, please check out the affiliates and referral section of my website. Costs you nothing extra, but hey, this is how I'm able to monetize some of my work a little bit, and everybody benefits, right? It keeps me making these daily videos and be happy about it. All right, guys, on this note, I will call it a day. I gotta get my day going. I don't know if I will be podcasting again today, but I am working on bringing a couple, a lawyer or two, to talk about the Coinbase lawsuits and the SEC hammer. So I want to bring that to you guys. All right. On this note, I'll talk to you all later, and good luck trading.